Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Troy Hill with Troy Hill Talks. How you doing? How you feel? It is Wednesday evening, and you know how we do. We got a special show lined up for you with me and the great Mick Manhattan. Much love, let yourself be seen there, Mick. We're talking about some great stuff today. Sir Sturdy, he's out on special assignment doing top secret shit, and he couldn't be with us this week. So Mick Manhattan, he came up with the idea of let's talk about Action Jackson and RoboCop, which I was 100% down. Being in Detroit, both of these stories probably took place at the same time. Well, no, they couldn't have took place at the same time, but it would have been pretty cool if they did. But how are you this evening, Mick?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, man. Like, these are two movies that I really enjoy. Action Jackson is just a nostalgic fueled, action movie from my childhood that I just remember watching on HBO as a kid. But RoboCop's in my top 10 movies of all time. So it's a remote dropper. I'm watching if it's on TV. I love it. And the Detroit connection, I love it.
Yes, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. We've talked about nostalgic things and things we've watched as growing up as children, and how they're near and dear to our hearts, and sometimes they spark. Well, 95% of the time they spark excellent vibes. I've been catching hell on my YouTube page, Mick, for my dislike of well, it's not like necessarily dislike. It's just that I don't like as much as I did when I was a kid. The Last Dragon. And I got people sitting there saying I'm being disrespectful, like I'm talking about their damn moms and stuff, man. I haven't talked about their moms yet, but
they prefer you talk about their moms.
I guess. I'm like, Jesus. I mean, it's like one movie that I don't hold up in a pedestal like everyone else, and I'm getting. They're bringing out your thought process on this is horrible, Troy. I'm like, well, shit. I can't like and enjoy everything. Can I just dislike one thing? Just one thing. What's your thoughts on that?
Listen, I think the hate is well deserved. So when the fans are watching this, I agree with.
Oh man. I understand it, but I just think if your movie show enough. Basically, my point was, if you take out show enough, is this movie really worth watching?
That's hard to argue. That's hard to argue, but he is in the movie. But that's the thing. You have to think about it from this perspective. Yes, if he wasn't in the movie, that key element, probably the movie wouldn't be as good as it is. Like, not saying that it wouldn't be good, but like that key element of a great villain lasts forever.
Yes.
But you got to remember, this whole movie is a shot in the dark. Like, it's so the fact that he does exist is special within itself and makes the movie special, in my opinion.
Well, true. I can respect that. Like I said, everybody, viewers, YouTube, the interwebs, if you love this show, that movie, damn it, I back you 100%. Just don't jump on me because I just don't look at it the same way. That's all. And there's a bunch of movies. For example, what's a movie that you can't stand that everybody else loves, that you feel that everyone else loves?
You know what the answer to this question is, and anybody who's watched the scene stops for 5 seconds, their shit-eating grin knows what the answer to this question is. And I have more than just this one that shocked people, but I go with this one. It's The Sound of Music. I was at a convention this weekend, and I got into it at a panel that I was hosting that had nothing to do with The Sound of Music. And I got somebody was a fan of the Scene Snobs, so they go what's the worst horror movie, or what's this? What's terrible? I forget what the question was, but somebody else shouts out The Sound of Music. And there's a wonderful older woman there who she was very sweet, and she was really into it, and just lots of great questions and good time. But she could not understand why I didn't like The Sound of Music. And I told her, I was like, I get why everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the spectacle of it. I get the prettiness, the music, the whole nine. But you cannot put that up in terms of musicals, great musicals, against like West Side Story or My Fair Lady or Mary Poppins, things like that. The Greatest Showman, stuff like that are true spectacles with not just great music, great characters, great stories. The stories, even if they're made up, like the Greatest Showman, let's be real, that's a made up story.
Yeah.
But it's still a great story. The Sound of Music, everything works out for them. That's it. That's the entirety of that movie. Everything. It is extreme privilege throughout the entire thing. And yes, you could tell me in real life it was a harrowing journey from the Nazis, and I believe that.
Yes.
They didn't show it in the movie. They didn't show it. They just showed 5 seconds of them running away and hiding behind a tombstone, then getting away.
And them just kind of just like singing, walking down the hillside. So yes, I get your point.
I watched 3 hours of nothing.
But but see, to me, that I put those two. To me, Mary Poppins are like up there. But then I'm losing.
I love Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I love Mary Poppins too. But I mean, see, that's the thing. Now I'm losing even more validation right now because they're like he doesn't like The Last Dragon and stuff, but he'll like he loves the Sound of Music of Mary Poppins. I mean, there's a community meeting that's going on right now with thumbs up, cars holding thumbs up and thumbs down. What am I going to end up with?
Well, it's okay because. At least you acknowledge that there are special things about The Last Dragon. I think that's what's important.
Yes, there is, but it's just, I mean, without show enough, you just got two basically wooden characters just sitting there dry humping each other for an hour and a half. That's Mako.
Mako's in it for a very short period of time. I love seeing Mako when he pops up and stuff. He was always great as that harbinger trainer Chinese fellow that showed up in movies. He was in, oh my god, do you remember when he took on the Sean Connery role in Highlander 3, The Final Dimension?
No, wait, this guy is the same guy who explains the rules of Gremlins, right? Is it the same guy?
No, that's not Mako.
Okay,
that was
right.
I can't think of his name, but he was in lots of stuff too.
Yeah,
back in the day. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name, but Mako is in. He was a little younger than that in the 80s. He was made to look a little older in The Last Dragon.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, he was in Conan. He was
another great movie.
I know. Whenever Mako showed up, like I love the movie. But he was in that movie, and I think it added the gravitas and the credence that was needed because he always played him. All right, I don't want to pigeonhole anybody and just say, okay, these Asian actors, but there were some Asian actors, especially back then, that were sort of dominating their roles. And when they were put into roles of either like mentorship or villains, they shone. James Hong, Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China, but the guy was in countless movies. One of his, not first movies, but one of his early roles was Chinatown. And he's still acting.
Wait. Isn't that guy in Action Jackson too?
I think he might be.
He is.
He might be in it.
No, he's in Action Jackson. So see, so that's how we segue on to good old Action Jackson. Now, for people that sit up there and think that, oh hell, what the hell does he know? He doesn't even like The Last Dragon. Well, I love the shit out of Action Jackson. One, because it's my childhood hero, Carl Weathers. Him and Billy D. Williams. Jesus, the late, great Carl Weathers, I also might add. I mean, I think this was like, they were trying to turn this into a franchise, I think they had all the ingredients, but I think the big picture, they kind of muffled a little bit. I mean, one of the things, since there's so many things to love about this movie, let's just cover the things that kind of dislike about this movie.
So we're starting with Action Jackson.
Yes, Action Jackson.
Can I go over this cast real quick before we?
Sure, absolutely.
So we got Carl Weathers, who's the man.
Yes.
I mean, Apollo Creed, like Predator, like the connection right there with Arnold and Mako with Conan. This movie's embedded. But then you have Craig T. Nelson as the bad guy coach, and he was in like the Poltergeist and everything. Vanity's in this movie, another connection to The Last Dragon, of course. Sharon Stone in like her first role.
Yes.
So she goes on to play on for Total Recall and everything else she's done.
Yep.
Bill Duke, arguably one of the great strongmen of the 80s,
Yes.
does not get enough credit. Robert Davi, who after this one goes on to play the bad guy in a James Bond movie. Like the very next year, he's in License to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
My man, Thomas F. Wilson,
Yes,
Back to the Future.
yes.
And another one that we don't give credit to, and there's a lot, don't get me wrong, but if you were ever playing the movie game, for anybody who's ever played this game where like you give out an actor and somebody else has to name a movie they were in, DeVroe White, I can never pronounce his name right. It's been a lot of years, but DeVroe White was always hard because he was Argyle in Die Hard.
Yes.
But he was also in this movie as Clovis.
Yes.
So like this was a saving movie of like if you ever got stuck on him in the movie game.
You want to know the other connection between this movie and Die Hard?
What's that?
The guy that got torched or whatever. How do you like your ribs? That was the guy that was sitting in looking at the security camera in the beginning of Die Hard. He was the first guy sitting at the desk.
Oh, yep. Yep. Dude, it's like they went to work at night on Die Hard and went to work on Action Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, as far as like the casting's outstanding, but one thing I disliked really about the movie is the music. The music does not match the movie. That's the first thing that was like very glaring. It's like the same things in this movie is what makes like Rocky V not a great movie, because the musical score in that movie is terrible too. They should have stuck with the classic sound of Rocky instead of trying to do like the hip like 90s like
oh my god, when they take the smooth Bill Conti 70s sound and then put the synthesizers on it. I'm out. I'm like, have your street fight. I'm done.
But see what I mean? Though, is like that part did not match in this movie. I don't feel it's like not only it didn't match, but it just seemed like some of the sounds were like out of place, and sometimes it was too damn loud. You know, and I mean that's my only hiccup with this movie. Besides, conclusion was like this movie wrapped up in all about 30 seconds. You know, villain gets comeuppance. Carl Weathers got re-promoted or whatever. He's lieutenant again, and Vanity kicked the heroin habit like all in about 30 minutes.
Dude, all right, yeah, that's true.
Because she quit cold turkey. I'm like, weren't you just trying to sneak off to get some like 20 minutes ago?
He took her to a hotel that clearly had heroin everywhere. Like
the hotel itself was called Hotel Heroin.
Like I'm fairly certain that bed had nothing but heroin in it. Like that's it. And Wilkie's here. What's going on, Wilkie? Welcome to the Troy Hill Talk Show.
Yeah, howdy. How are you doing this evening?
This movie makes a lot of decisions.
Yes,
and the action is there.
Yes, no, it's literally the movie. The reason why is endearing to me is that it's literally like whoever come up with the action sequences it's like a 12-year-old kid. It was like me in my backyard sitting there just coming up with some ridiculous ass action sequences with my action figures. You know, that's what this movie is like. They drove a sports car up a flight of damn stairs.
Oh my god!
And to a bedroom.
That fight in that luxurious 80s apartment. Everything in that apartment was so 80s, my eyeballs hurt because I was like, oh my god, I remember like when people chased this look.
Yeah.
And like you look at it now and you're like, this wasn't a good look.
Hell, I'm guilty. I'm trying to chase it. Just trying to catch up.
But we're doing it for nostalgic purposes. Like that was luxury back in the day.
Are we? As I got the Indian tear going down my head trying to fight pollution.
There were so many mirrors in that apartment. Remember the 80s just had a lot of mirrors.
Yeah.
All over.
Yes, the fight sequences were badass. I mean, he's chasing down the damn cab. He's like, excuse me, I gotta go catch a cab. He's like keeping up this cab full sprint. Then he does a flip over said cab. Not like a running up, just like standing in place and still kick the front kick roll and everything landed perfect. the guy driving the cab is like looking like this. I mean, it was ridiculous, but beautiful all at the same time. I mean, that, ladies and gentlemen, is movie magic.
Oh my God. This entire movie is like Carl Weathers doing work throughout, because he is just from one action sequence like, okay, to compare it to a newer movie, I would compare this in terms of action to the new Mission Impossible that just came out, where it's primarily just action after action after action.
See, I ate it all up, man. I was eating that action up in the theater, though.
I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, at least Action Jackson had a semblance of a story. That man
and Carl Weathers actually running full sprint was believable still.
Oh my God. That man, when he decides to do action, he's all in, right? Like that, he lives up to the name. Yeah. But protecting the public, nope. That was not part of his oath. He let Sharon Stone go so quick. And he's just kind of mad about it.
Yeah, it was like well, hell, she was stalling the movie still for all about like 10 seconds, if that. Break that, because that's how her career started. She was like in movie roles, it seemed like, for like a split second, and she like ended up dead somewhere. That Total Recall, basically the same thing. Total Recall, maybe like about 10 seconds longer in the movie.
Total Recall was her big break. I think they thought this was going to be her big break, and like it didn't hurt. That's the only thing.
I think their intentions was for this movie to be a big break for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think they intended to have this to be a franchise, and it was going to be Carl Weathers' thing. I don't know what happened. The only thing I really see that was really wrong, like I said, is just the musical score itself.
Yeah.
It had the catchphrases. It had the like ridiculous action. It had vanity in it. I don't know. Even though the character is kind of weird, that much different from the last Dragon character. I mean, about the same character besides a heroine, right?
Yeah. Well, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I have a theory, and this is just a theory.
Sure.
I have not looked it up. It's not based on anything. I have a feeling with the time, what they were going for here was sort of Carl Weathers' lead vehicle in an answer to Lethal Weapon, which came out in '87.
Yes, because this came out 1988, I think, right? Yeah.
To verify this, I'd have to see when this was released. Like what day this was.
I think it was 88.
February 12th, 1988. So let me verify one thing before I go on with this, because if I am right, I think what happened was arguably the biggest movie, so July 22nd, 1988.
Okay.
Arguably the biggest action movie of all time came out, which was Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm wondering if, like, did this movie make its money back? That's the only thing. Like, I'm not 100% sure.
It probably didn't. It had to have been that, because
it did. It
did make its money. So
domestically it made $20 million, but it was only about $10 million budget. So it did make its money back. That's not bad for back then. No. That's actually not a bad opening, but that is domestically. I don't know what it did over. So, but I really think like it just didn't do well enough. But then when you add Die Hard, which explodes and is bigger than Lethal Weapon, and it's like all this stuff, like even when you get to Lethal Weapon 2, think about it. Who was Lethal Weapon 2 trying to be like? Die Hard. They have South African, like these, like foreign white terrorists in the thing. And stuff like that. So like really Die Hard like shaped something that year. 1988 was like, this is how action goes now. We don't need the big muscly stars, stuff like that. So I think like Action Jackson was just sort of probably lost its.
Got lost in the I guess in the flurry of random action movies, because Die Hard is arguably like one of the greatest action movies of all time. And I think what sticks out the most is, if you're going to compare it to Die Hard and if you just compared it to just one glaring difference is, Bruce Willis seems like he's the common everyday man that any average Joe could be caught up in this situation. He's not like rock hard chiseled and shit, cut out a damn vibranium like
Oh
Carl
yeah,
Weathers
yeah.
was, because Carl Weathers was like in excellent shape. It was like he just got out of the ring and fighting Rocky or whatever the case may be. So,
I'm still here.
oh yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't. I guess that maybe that was what it was. It just got muddled in that regard, which is it's kind of sad because I would have wanted to see. I think there is another. I think there is another couple of Carl Weather action movies. We're going to do some research in that, but I mean, obviously not Action Jackson. I don't know if there's like made straight for video or whatever the case may be, but
I think Action Jackson just didn't like. First off, I don't know, and not to be crass, but like this was an action film with an established star, but he was a black star, and in the '80s, that there wasn't a huge mainstream push of black action stars.
no, not since like the '70s and the late '60s with John Shaft or Richard Roundtree. There really hadn't been. You're right about that.
This could have been like I'm surprised Joel Silver didn't argue for this more. Like, yeah, it only like sort of doubled its not even doubled its budget. It's like it only went over like 10 million over its budget, but you could have probably had a couple of sequels where this could have been maybe not as big as Lethal Weapon, but after Die Hard, it's like, okay, where do we take Action Jackson now? Like I feel like this was an IP that shouldn't have just been left alone.
No.
It should have been messed with more because again, and I think that's a criminal thing when it comes to Hollywood in a lot of ways. Like you get these movies that do really well, and then executives will be like, well, it's not enough. It's just not enough. And it's like, but this could be your bottom line. Now take it down a little bit, make it an action series. You have a Lethal Weapon series with Carl Weathers. All right, and you're speaking to the black community, with having an black action star in a mainstream in the '80s, which I like for anybody who's maybe younger and doesn't remember, like action in the '80s was like we talk about horror. We need to seriously talk about how big action in the '80s.
Yes, it's way different
massive.
than what it is now. It had a level of grit that you don't have like in the movies that had there now. It's just something. It just seems like it's spectacle, but like a different type of spectacle than what you see now. And it's really, really hard to put your finger on it, but there is a difference. I mean, like Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I mean, for a guy that has not seen all the movies, I really, really enjoyed it. For what it was, I thought that it checked every box for what a summer blockbuster movie should be, but. There's other action movies from the 80s or even 90s that I would say was way better, even though this movie is like based on, like you said, it's based on just nonstop that action all the way through. I take the first 3 Die Hard movies easy.
Yeah, but even like you could, but that's the thing. Like the first one did well enough. You had a good amount of stars, especially for the '80s in it. You have Action Jackson. Like to me, if I'm producing movies in the '80s, and not on cocaine like everybody else probably was, I'm probably making this movie now. But you have to think about it from it's always striking when everything is like hot. But a year before this, you had Black Cobra come out starring Fred Williamson. Now that was a remake of Cobra with Sylvester Stallone, which ironically was his rewrite of Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I remember. Actually, I went to the theater to see Cobra, the Sylvester Stallone version.
Great movie. And Fred Williamson did a black exploitation version of it in 1987 that was really good. I prefer those movies over the Stallone movie. And he made like 2 or 3 sequels after that in 88, 89, something like that. If anyone at the studio had a little bit of foresight to say, like, listen, black exploitation films, action films are being made and they're dominating. They're doing really well to the point where they're making sequels. Why can't we do that with Action Jackson and make it a more mainstream franchise?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I realize we're pushing a lot, but I mean, RoboCop 3 exists. and Action Jackson 2 doesn't exist.
Yeah, because RoboCop 3, I mean, it's just my opinion. It didn't need to. It just seemed like it went through so much production hell between, to get to that point. That was just not even worth even messing around with at that point. It's just kind of like we're just trying to just throw some shit out now just to say that we did.
You killed off Lewis, you bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean, talking back about just 80s and 90s film and action movies before we get into RoboCop and before we get to a rating on Action Jackson, I think there's something to be said about missing the buddy kind of action movie. I don't think that even really exists anymore. Where's a Tango and Cash type movie? Tango and Cash was a badass movie. Why isn't there a sequel to Tango and Cash? I mean, there's a bunch of movies you can argue this with. I mean, hell, we just talked about Black Dynamite 2 weeks ago. How Black Dynamite didn't get a sequel. It's like the same. It's like almost the same argument between. This is a different generation, different time. It's almost the same argument between a Black Dynamite 2 and an Action Jackson 2.
Yeah,
they both. I mean, there's large quantities of people that love both of them. So I mean, it's just really, really hard. But how do you rank this out of 5?
Out of 5, I'd give it a solid 2.5.
I'm gonna say both. Yeah.
I can revisit it. It's not one of the greatest action movies of the time, but
no,
I don't think this one should be crapped on. Like I said, comparing it to the lower budget action of the time, it holds up with the mainstream. So heavy stunts, fun one-liners. It's a nostalgia look back at '88. I dig it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 2.5 stars. I feel like as enjoyable as it was, I think the music part of it really hinders this movie. I think that's the biggest setback, that it just, if you change the music, you change the score just a little bit, you turn the volume down in some key scenes. I mean, a perfect example, I mean, it's like he's trying to hit like a one-liner for a joke. And the specific sound or a lack sound of that you would hear like in a movie. Yeah. It's like the complete opposite sound that you would think you would hear, and that kind of throws things off, and it's kind of like off-putting and stuff, but still, just Jesus, the action. I mean, he drove up someone's damn stairs in a damn sports car. Not just one flight of stairs. He got up and then hit the corner and went up some more damn stairs.
Not to mention a vast misrepresentation on how to get off of drugs.
Yes, apparently you can quit cold turkey in a matter of like 20 movie minutes. Because all this shit took place in the same day. When she was just getting tied up and stuff. 20 minutes later, I just quit cold turkey. Black Dynamite, just kidding. but Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
That's still my favorite scene in that movie.
Yeah, chocolate, get it.
Well, when he's yelling at the young lady in the corner, and he's just like, "Get the hell back! What'd I tell you? Get out of here before I send you back to Hot Randy with this hot
with poker, coat hanger, or whatever."
Hot coat hanger. Just the insinuation that he has a hot coat.
Yes, but it was crazy how the camera kind of paused. He kind of looks off in the distance, like he's like, "Damn, did I really say that out loud?" And he kind of blows it off, like, okay, no one really got it.
The fact that Undercover Brother 2 exists and not
Black Dynamite
2 is,
and now we got another one to add to the list. There's no Action Jackson 2, but there's a Undercover.
Can we make 7 more Action Jacksons with Michael Jai White? I feel like he would be a good, if he can pull up for Undercover Brother, why can't he? And he's not just doing that. He was in a remake of Sudden Death.
Yeah, you're right. No,
he can pull it off.
Yeah, I would completely be down for that, or just if hell, reboot the damn thing altogether and just have some fresh new stuff in there. But I need a reinvention of the car going up the damn stairs in the mansion. You need to top that some type of way. You put Michael Jai White in a car, that thing's doing anything. He's gonna stop at a building, and then the car's just gonna drive up the building. He's going to stop a helicopter. Hell, the car is going to turn into a helicopter. I mean,
listen,
it don't matter.
This is Action Jackson, not James Bond, all right?
Hey, well, hey, we can have nice things too in the community. It's just
I didn't even mean it that way.
we can have nice things. You know?
Oh God!
But we had a Cadillac just turned into a hovercraft last week. What you talking about? All right, but anyway, we're going. Everybody, close your eyes and go ahead and put on your future spectacles or whatever, because we're getting ready to go on into the future Detroit, where crime is rampant, just like it was in Detroit like 10 years ago before they cleaned itself up. I mean, because it's kind of ironic and stuff. This takes place probably like, in time where Detroit was having a hard go of it and stuff. But God bless Detroit and stuff. They're doing well and stuff now. The industry is back and they're working on things and stuff. But yeah, Detroit was rough for a little bit. But but RoboCop,
another connection to Action Jackson with this one is Paul Verhoeven directed this, who directed Total Recall and what's her name, Sharon Stone.
Mm-hmm. What was the other movie he directed too? There's another one he directed. I can't remember.
You directed a few, but the Starship Troopers probably in there.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which there's a lot of people like Starship Troopers. It's not really my cup of tea, but there is a crowd that loves that movie. You guys, please don't kill me for not caring about that movie. That's gonna be the last Dragon crowd after me.
What is it about that movie that you don't like? Too many white people?
Not this time. No, that had nothing to do with it. I don't know. It just seemed like it just wasn't my thing at the time. I haven't seen it for a long time. So, I mean, it could change. I mean, my opinion could be different this time around. I don't know.
I like it for the same reason I like RoboCop. It's such a good satire. I love all the little things in between, the commercials, all this stuff that Paul Verhoeven's trying to say. Because watching RoboCop again, which again, it's not like there's a shortage. I'll watch it any day, but
it's a vibe. It was a vibe.
And even if you watch the second one, you can clearly see the two different styles of movies. Like Verhoeven was going for I mean, he was trying to warn us of exactly what we're going through now.
Yeah.
So he said, the privatization of things, stuff like that, like how commercialization, capitalism, how that's all playing out. Like it's he does it so well and so thinly veiled with a movie with a lot of heart in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man who lost his life and lost everything with it.
Yes, and just that concept and just the construct that, and then just tying everything else around it, just the corruption of society, greed, the de-evolution of society, which a lot of it is kind of relatable, with what's going on today. I kind of like it kind of gives me that comic book type of vibe and stuff. It's kind of like some of the scenes in the movie itself is just kind of like a comic book, just kind of like popping right off the screen or popping off the pages to like something that you can visualize. It gave me Dark Knight Returns type of vibes and stuff. Because like when they're talking about the news and stuff in Dark Knight Returns and stuff, it kind of gave me that vibe when they're covering the news. The only difference is they're talking about real gloomy stuff, kind of like smile on their face almost. Which is kind of weird, but it's still trying to build how this world is and stuff now.
Yeah, I think Clarence Boddicker, the great Kurtwood Smith playing him in this movie, is a brilliant villain that just doesn't. I don't think he gets enough. First, there's a lot of things in this movie that I think it gets right. One, this is the most realistic to cops I've seen. Mm-hmm. And how they talk and how they interact with each other. They're just, and generally the bitching goes to higher up,
yes. Mm-hmm.
It's how everything's going, how they're stressed, they're underpaid, the city's in ruins, and it's, the officials above them are supposed to help, aren't helping.
Yeah, you got people threatening, other cops threatening to strike. You got a guy that's trying to lead the cops and he's dealing with that. Or he wants to do the right thing and stuff, but damn it, he's
so good.
He has to. I mean, being in that type of role of leadership, yeah, you might agree, but you can't really say that you agree. You kind of well, no, I still gotta. But Hank over here is talking about striking, shit.
I don't say it a lot. My dad was a cop in Jersey City when, in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
That precinct reminds me of his precinct, like the dirty dinginess of it. Like you see in other movies too, like The Hard Way.
The men and women shower together.
No, I think that was a little different. This was the future. Remember, that's the only futuristic part.
That's like one part. That's one part I totally forgot about seeing years ago. When I saw it, I was like, wait, whoa. I'm like, future.
It makes sense that in the future they would be, though. It makes sense that they would cut down on paying for extra showers or an extra locker room.
Yes.
And that they would be forced to.
Mm-hmm.
Would it work out that well? I don't know. I hope. But,
Yeah, because everybody's just having like it's like a normal, hey, Francis. Hey, what's up, Elizabeth? How's everything going? I'm like, well, damn.
Oh, man.
But the movie, though, the level of violence, they just had to emphasize that, man, this robot here had an accident, and we're going to show you how far we just can't turn this damn thing off. No matter what we do, it's just shriveling up. This is jacking this dude up. His chest, his undercarriage, he was jacked up, man. Just the violence. I forgot the level of violence of this damn thing. The main thing I remember growing up, I haven't seen it for years. The main thing I remember was the acid guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I remember. I remember him getting killed in the beginning and stuff, how they brutally, shot his hand off and all that stuff.
Oh, my God, dude. The whole thing was just really...
Yes.
There's a director's cut that's even more violent.
How do you get more violent than that?
Like the shooting scene goes on for a little while. It's wild, man. And I get it because it was the glorification of violence. Like, this is the story of Jesus, essentially.
Yeah.
That's the allegory here is like, the savior gets killed and then comes back as something new, something more powerful. And then murders everyone, shoots one dude in the dick.
God, it was just messed up. He just didn't shoot him in the dick. I mean, he was like, he was basically like
God.
this.
He shot right, first of all, if I'm committing a crime, right?
Yes.
And this dude rolls up, and first, he's a cop anyway. Like, you're already going to be nervous the second you see the cops because you don't know what's going to happen. Authority is scary. It is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I promise I'm telling them. I'm not saying, I'm not making sure you understand this. I'm telling
I'm like, they can be.
I'm telling anybody who's whitewashing.
They can, really? Tell me more.
No, but you're already afraid of authority. But when
I've heard these stories before.
When a dude gets out with metal, it's just all metal, and a giant handgun comes out of his leg.
Yeah.
When do you at what point are you just like, I give up? Or it's like, okay, you know what? I'll let her go. It's fine.
Yeah. I would have been. Yeah, I've been like, well, I have no weapon. Or the famous words of Hollywood was a Hollywood Shuffle. I begot no weapon. That's what I would say. And I would hopefully be taken to the county. But I mean, this movie,
he goes all in.
Yeah, they just like, what, we're just trying to. What year was this made again?
This is 89, I believe.
Oh, they must have learned
87,
from
87. My
apologies. 87. I was going to make a lie that they must learn from the Action Jackson people for ridiculous action and violence. But I can't make
I guess
that lie.
the other way around.
It's possible. It's highly possible.
Like this changed the game in terms of sci-fi.
This is like the first movie I remember, maybe because I didn't realize all this cocaine use was going on in this movie neither.
So much.
Yeah,
so much.
I didn't realize that when I'm sitting there watching it because I had to watch it like in two pieces and stuff.
You have to look at my pictures on Instagram. This young lady's Megan cosplay was amazing, and she acted as Megan the whole. It was
really,
great. Yeah. It was wild. I loved it though. It was fantastic. Great job.
I'm envious. I'm looking forward to the day that I can host something or at least be part of some type of event. That would be so damn cool and stuff, just to sit there and do that. You know, it really, really would. So that's awesome. If you guys ever do another one and stuff, you just need a guy just like stand off in the background and some kind of pose and stuff. Let me know.
You're always welcome to come.
But,
You know,
well, shit,
Carolina Beer Fest, baby. We love
shit.
it.
I'll go to Carolina. I'll be whistling and skipping rocks and doing whatever the hell I saw, like in the opening of Andy Griffith. You know, but I mean, isn't that what they do?
I guess we didn't do it there.
I mean, skip a rock and look off into the distance and whistle and.
No,
no, my sister lives in South Carolina. It can't be that big of a difference, I don't think.
I mean, there's some beautiful spots. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
for sure. Can't really. I'm not gonna take that away.
You know, go find out where they sell that that miracle salve that Aunt B got a hold of. She's singing Tootsie playing the piano. See, that's the type of vibe I don't
know. I don't know if that works even then. Like maybe in the 50s, 60s it existed, but like in the 80s, nah. And now, no.
now there's people like still listen. Like, see, that's the reason why he didn't like the last Dragon.
Like even Bill Moseley ended up in the hospital last year,
and see, it sucks this week. This week is our fan expo and stuff. I tried to get passes to get in and stuff. It was a no-go this year, so I gotta work harder to get that infamous pass. So
I don't think it's about working harder. I think it's just about, you know, they want to see, like a lot of times people want to see, like, you know, and you are doing it, like when you go out to these places, like are you filming them? Are you promoting? You know, when they see that, they understand. At least like even when people are for Carolina Fear Fest are coming to us and want to put in for media passes, like it's not really about the numbers as much when we're looking at that. We look at, I mean, yeah, the numbers are good, but like if you have lower numbers, but you're pumping out the promotions and you're doing stuff on your social media and you're really like a part of it, that's taken into consideration. Like, for sure. Like, you know, we want to make sure like people who are excited to actually be there are playing.
Absolutely.
You know, so,
you know, I mean, to me, it's just, it would be fun, you know, just,
right.
I mean, seeing the cosplay, just seeing the different panels and stuff, just seeing, I mean, it's like, it's good, you know, just being around a place where people enjoy things that are similar to you. It's like a forum, you know, for that, you know, and that's just good to know. You know, I'm looking forward to be part of one sooner or later.
You will be, man. You will be. And apply for panels too. Like if something's going on and maybe not, you know, hosting something, but you can apply to panels and host that.
True.
And then like, you know, build up that way, you know, because I still host panels outside of, and, you know, I'll do panels for Q&As and other panels outside in other conventions. But for the most part, like I'm mostly attached to Carolina Fear Fest. But I will say that panels can be a pain in the ass too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was in one this weekend that was already, first of all, it's Sunday morning, right? It's the last day. You mind if I jump on this?
Oh, I don't care. I do want to interrupt one thing though. Yeah. This is what happens. I'm sitting there because I do a DJ set on TikTok, like on Fridays and Saturdays. This is Mick. He comes in, he's like, I went party. I'm out here partying with the Child's Play guy. Basically,
I am.
I'm sitting there just like,
I am. He was a really nice guy, Alex Vincent.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like spinning records. I'm like, damn, that's so damn cool.
It was fun. You know? It was fun. Every celebrity that was there was really sweet, really nice. It was funny. He didn't remember me. I mean, granted, it was 2008. Malcolm McDowell didn't remember me when I was his assistant.
That's another one.
But his handler, his manager that's there, he remembered me and I remembered him and we were talking to each other. Like, it was very cool to even see him. Like, and it was funny because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know, that's who I should get on the show more. It's like I want to talk to some of these like bookers and handlers and stuff. And like,
I would love to talk to him about one of my favorite, you know, obviously Back to the Future is one of my favorite time travel movies, but I don't know if it would have got there about Time After Time. Time After Time was like kind of like the bridge that kind of like opened the door to everything time travel to me. That's a movie I hold near and dear to my heart. Time After Time is a fucking masterpiece to me. I mean,
it's a fun movie, man. I
Yeah.
really do enjoy it. I like a good time travel story, of course.
Well, the concept of going back in time from that time and then going to 1970 San Francisco is just pretty damn badass. With Jack the Ripper,
Yep.
that's just a whole badass concept right there. You know,
That was his wife at the time too. She's married to Ted Danson now, but they were married. Mary Steenburgen and Malcolm Talbot.
Which ironically, she ended up being in Back to the Future 3. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, she played Clara.
Yeah.
She likes her time travelers, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I should make me a time travel movie. Think I got a shot? Maybe.
Yeah. Go for it. I'm in. Let's do it.
Well, hell, I already told you. We already discussed that.
I got an idea. All right, 2 guys have to get an A on their history assignment. So, and it's the entire future's outlook rests on them passing this assignment. So, George Carlin comes back with a fucking, I don't know, like a credenza or some shit, a refrigerator. You know what? Let's go phone booth. That's timely. Everybody knows phone booths.
Yes, a phone booth will work. And your name will be Ted.
No, that's stupid. Let's call him Jeremy.
Okay, Jeremy. And I'm thinking myself, no, Bill wouldn't work well neither. Bernard
and Jeremy's stupendous journey.
See there? It sounds great.
It's going to sell itself. Yeah. Who should we go back and get? Hands down, 100% Marie Antoinette. My movie, we wouldn't be getting no A's at the end of that movie. I totally fuck up my trip going back in time. We take Marie Antoinette to like get a whaley cake.
Yeah, you'd be like, Troy, we're supposed to be getting A's for the exam. I'm like, we're supposed to be getting what now?
Guys, I don't think she was mocking you. She just really seems to be in the cake. I don't know what's happening.
RoboCop out of 5.
Fucking 5. I love this movie. This movie, and and I don't give a shit who gets mad about it. That's a completely personal choice to rank that.
Yeah,
that's out of 5 for me. But I'm in. I'm 100%.
That's your business. I give it a 3. You know, and I still enjoy it. I think it's a great watch and stuff, and I think it's really, really enjoyable. You know, and it's just other things I may like better. You know, and that's fine. See people how 2 rational people can have a conversation about not liking the same exact stuff instead of being attacked saying that you disrespected a movie franchise. It's not really a franchise, but anyway.
Well, keep in mind too, everything you're saying is wrong, and I hate you.
Well,
I know, like RoboCop is great, man. It's just fun, and it's out there, and it's weird, and it's everything. Like you should never think. That's the thing about like this movie makes it so special. Is it's a movie about a robot cop in Detroit.
Yeah,
but everything behind it that makes this so interesting just work. Like if you told me the dad from that 70s show, if you're trying to tell me a movie, like the dad from that 70s show plays the main villain in RoboCop, and you've never heard of it. Now I'm talking about like generations today never hearing about this. No one would believe you. But he was a beast in that movie. He was amazing.
He was a certified sadistic badass. He fit all the qualifications of what an 80s bad guy needed to be.
Yep. And that, you know what? That was the thing about the 80s, because give it to Craig T. Nelson and Action Jackson too. And then like, even if you go into Die Hard with Alan Rickman, who was only in, I think that was his first movie. You know,
absolutely like, his first movie role. Yep.
So you think about a lot of these villains, a lot of them back then in these action movies were just character actors who had their chance to be the villain and the main villain now. Well, not had their chance. They earned that shit. A lot of these character actors definitely earned it. But and like Craig T. Nelson is a star now, we know him. You know, he wasn't on. I don't even think he was on Coach yet by the time this came out. You know, he was known for Poltergeist in '82. You know, so like this is a lot of years removed, and then you get to RoboCop, and it's like you have Ray Wise, who Twin Peaks, Reaper. He was on Psych. He's in tons of stuff. Kurtwood Smith, who was in tons of stuff as a character actor, but now showing up as the main villain, Clarence Bodiger. You know, like you have Ronnie Cox, who arguably one of the best villain / adversary, because people will complain about his character, Captain Jellicoe, on the Next Generation, but I still maintain that Captain Jellicoe is one of the greatest Starfleet captains of all time, and I'm the only one, because like he was the guy that pissed everybody off because he was by the book, no nonsense, and like he took over the Enterprise, and Riker hated him. But if you watch that movie, watch that episode, that man handles business, creates a treaty between the Cardassians. Like it just works the whole night. Everything he does works, and he brokers the return of a captured Picard. But the entire episode, it's just whining, incessant whining by the crew, especially by Riker, who's a smug prick in it. And I love Jonathan Frakes and I love Riker, but in this episode, he does not follow. He's just a dick. And Jellicoe did not deserve that, because that was a good role at a time where he was the villain in RoboCop. He was the villain in Total Recall. He's like Ronnie Cox knew how to be just a sadistic villain, and he was great at it.
And it just works. I mean,
he was the asshole in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes,
chief.
Yep. Though he softened up, didn't he? Soften up. He softened up in 3, right?
He was in 3. He was only in 1 and 2. Remember, he got shot in 2.
Yes.
That's what brings him back. And like, I love him. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love Bogomil. I love Bogomil.
Yeah.
I wish they brought him back for the 4th one because he was still alive.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
Ronnie Cox was the man back in the day, and he didn't get enough credit.
Yeah, just speaking about Beverly Hills 4 and stuff on Netflix, that was really damn enjoyable. I was so damn surprised by that movie. Not saying it's going to win an Oscar or any damn award or anything like that, but for a solid hour and 45 minutes or whatever it was, pleasantly surprised. You know, and sometimes that's all you got to ask. That's all you can really ask for from a movie. You know, sometimes I'm asking for something. You know, I'm asking for something that's going to be riveting, like Sinners or whatever, and you know, and I get that experience. And sometimes I just want to just see shit explode, and people running high speed trying to get, you know, stop exploding, and you know, try and, you know, stop zombie apocalypses and stuff. Oh shit, yeah, 28 years later, it's right around the damn corner.
Right around the corner, dude. And even that, like, you know, it's just adding like star after star. Like Ralph Fiennes is in it.
Yeah,
you know, what's his name is starring in it. I can't remember. He was crazy.
Quicksilver.
Yeah, he's in everything. Like, and I like him. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, I wish Kick-Ass. I didn't really care for Kick-Ass Part 2, but Kick-Ass, that first one was a bit of fun also.
Yeah, that first one was had a magical touch to it. And that second one wasn't bad, but yeah, I agree with you.
It just didn't have. Yeah, I think it just didn't. It didn't strike lightning twice or whatever. Which I guess probably not gonna. It's not meant to be in the world of movies or whatever or whatnot. But where can we see you next and stuff, Mr. Busy Pants and stuff, getting out of the Carolina Fright Festival or whatever? Where can we see you in the next week or so?
Well, the next, we have stuff coming out every day. So guys, go check out our reviews. Go check out Does It Suck this week is a lot of fun. Next week, we're starting a whole new theme. Like every month we do a different theme. This month we're doing the Mission Impossible movies, but we're also doing thrillers. So and then Does It Suck? We're doing some fun. We have some fun choices for you. So go check those out. Also, this Friday at 8 p.m. we'll be live with the Scene Snobs podcast. This week's episode, we're going to be talking, ironically, character actors. I want to talk about the idea of celebrities, influencers, and actors in the film world, and kind of like how that's going about, because there's a lot of tension right now with very good actors who are in the industry who are missing out on roles because their followings on social media aren't as big, and they're actually being replaced by influencers who've never had a day in their life. And I want to take that idea of we're seeing a surge in celebrities wanting to be more like influencers rather than actors. And I want to talk about that. So that's going to be our main topic. We're going to talk about Carolina Fear Fest and our time there. who do our top 5 male character actors.
Mhm.
I will be reviewing Lilo and Stitch, the Phoenician Scheme, the Fountain of Youth. I just watched.
Yep, I have to watch that. I haven't got around to it yet.
And there's another big movie I just watched recently that we will be reviewing as well. I'm also watching Pee Wee Herman as himself. So
Interesting on HBO Max, correct?
yes, and if I
keep on seeing the
can,
ad.
there's 2 parts to it. So it's a pretty big movie. But there's 2 parts. Oh, I did Vampire in Brooklyn for this week's Does It Suck? So if you want to go check that out. But the other movie I was going to do was Fear Street Prom Queen. So all the movies except for Pee Wee Herman himself, Pee Wee himself, are watched. I have to watch the second part, and then we'll be reviewing all those, and then of course new mixed movie picks. So that'll be our podcast this week. Hopefully, you guys check it out.
Well, that's good stuff. I'm going to be doing. Well, I got DJ stuff on TikTok, so there's going to be music going on Friday and Saturday. 80s, 90s, whatever you guys want to hear. I really don't care. It's a vibe, great communication, great people in general. Also going to be doing, I got a review on Ballerina I'm doing next week. I got to see that on Monday. Found the Youth, I still just got to go back and I got a thing to go see it. I haven't saw it yet. What else is there? I think that's it for me. Oh yeah, I still haven't posted my reviews yet for I'm Gonna Get You Sucker and Hollywood Shuffle. That'll be coming up here soon too. So that's really all I got coming up the next week. But once you guys see us again, you see myself and Mick, and then Sir Sturdy's gonna be rejoining us. We're gonna be talking about Head of State and was Down to Earth.
Yeah, Down to Earth, the 2 Chris Rock movies.
Yeah, the 2 Chris Rock movies. And I remember Head of State being enjoyable, and I know. As far as movies go for Chris Rock, it seems like he gets a lot of flack that he's not a great actor or whatever, But I enjoyed Head of State, and I actually enjoyed him in his role in Fargo. I think Fargo's a badass TV show, and they've never this season was not as good as the others.
I liked it with what's her name, Juno Temple.
Yes,
I thought she did pretty good.
Yeah,
it was a little different, but fourth season was really good.
Yeah, and then keep on bringing in what's his name, Mike Milligan. What's his name? That character. Well, he didn't show up in this last season. The guy that plays Bokeem, was it Bokeem Woodbine?
Yes, all right, yeah. I do wish he's so good.
Yes, he is, and it's like the little stories kind of. Yeah, he has that concept of what a villain, because he has like a story to kind of tell something before he's doing something else. So, I definitely dig that. But anyways, if you guys could go ahead and give us some, subscribe to our channels. If you have not yet, subscribe to Troy Hill Talks, subscribe to the Scene Snobs. Lots of stuff. I cannot express it enough. Mick is he's on his shit when it comes to just movies in general. The knowledge is incredible. It's stuff you guys, if you follow me, and you subscribe to my channel, and you enjoy my stuff, you definitely got to check out this guy's stuff because this stuff is really, really good. So
thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. But do you have any kind words to say to the people?
Just stay groovy, stay classy, take care of yourselves, be kind to others. That's what it's all about, right? So make sure you're subscribed to Troy Hill Talks, hanging out, being a part of the lives as they go on. And you're gonna want to, if you want to vibe on Friday and Saturday nights, go over to TikTok and listen to his sets. I think it was one Saturday night. I was just, everybody was away and I was just chilling. I didn't feel like going live. I was talking to Sturdy. He was live at the time, but I didn't feel like going on live. So I just threw your thing on and then just threw the phone over to the side and just listened to music. So I heard you talking to me and I'm like, nah, I'm just enjoying the vibe.
No, it's a good time. Like I said, there's like a nice little group of people that shows up and just, we just communicate, talk about a lot of stuff. Sometimes in this world, it's just cool just to know that there's like-minded individuals out in the world instead of kind of want to just sit back and chill and have their moments of reflection or whatever, But my bit of advice for this week is, that being said, is make sure you stay away from Anaconda malt liquor because it will give you a small woo. Anyways, yes, that's all I got.
Anaconda malt liquor. Oh my god, what was the other one? What was the other one? Oh, that we were gonna do. Like you had Anaconda malt liquor, and I was gonna do.
Were we still doing the General's fried chicken?
The General's fried chicken.
The General's fried chicken.
Oh my god! Every product I can get in a movie now is going to be my. Every product in a movie now is going to be my sponsor on my show.
See, what you need to do is do what I do instead of give away Woolworth gift certificates and stuff. It's a tax write-off and stuff. It doesn't cost me a dime.
That's very fair. That's very fair. Only usable at any Woolworth.
Yes,
in the greater tri-state area.
Yeah, Woolworth's Indiana or Kenny Rogers rotisserie chicken gift certificates, man. I'm making it big.
Remember Kenny Rogers chicken? Remember delicious. In the window they had the rotisseries just going.
Yeah, but just you got to make sure that it has oil and stuff dripping off that chicken, because that's what attracts the customers.
Oh my god!
I don't know if they
said
it.
It did.
It worked for me.
Worked. It's like I want to go eat some of that chicken. It's like it's in the window. I want some. So. The really bad part is when I mixed it up with the dog, with the puppy center.
Oh Lord. Well. But anyways, it was as always, it's great, and we'll see you guys all again. Take care and be kind to one another, people. We'll holla.